All right, guys, welcome to the 100 Fantasy Football channel. I am so excited that you are here right now because in this video, we are going over the must-have wide receivers that need to be on your rosters in 2022, and we're going to get straight into it. So the first one you need to have is going to be Pittman Jr. out of the Indianapolis Colts. And listen, the reason why I'm big on this guy is just that he is just someone that I was big on in 2021, and I believe is even due for a bigger season in 2022. And watch, check this stat out. In 2021, Pittman Jr. was one of 8 wide receivers that were in the top 20 that had 15% of his production or less come from receiving touchdowns, which tells you that he's able to get production because of his separation and his ability to catch the ball efficiently. And on top of that too, he was one of 7 wide receivers from within that same top 20 list to have 45% of his production or more come from receiving yards and receptions. So this guy is a PPR monster, someone that I believe will not only show you that he's able to bounce back even further because of the fact that he had a good year in 2021, but because he also has a new quarterback going into 2022, and that's Matt Ryan. And why do I bring up 2021? Well, his quarterback was Carson Wentz, and just check out his stat. Carson Wentz ranked 7th in percentage of poor throws per attempt versus Matt Ryan, who was 29th in that statistic. And on top of that, Matt Ryan was actually ranked 9th on the amount of targets that were actually on point. So he's an accurate quarterback, and he has a great offensive line, and guess what? He has an elite wide receiver in Pittman Jr. Pittman Jr. currently is going as wide receiver 14 and is overall going as the 41st player off the board, and is someone that needs to be on your roster if you're looking to be successful in 2022. The next wide receiver that you need to have on your roster is going to be wide receiver DJ Moore out of the Carolina Panthers. That DJ Moore is able to get you so much value without the touchdowns. Check this out. No wide receiver who has had 1,100 receiving yards or more has had fewer than 5 touchdowns. Well, DJ Moore has done that in 3 straight seasons. So no one has done what DJ Moore has been doing. And that's all because of the bad quarterback play that he's had. And if you look at the stats even further, you can see here that the quarterbacks that he's had since 2019 have been as follows: Teddy Bridgewater, Kyle Allen, Sam Darnold, and he had the last good season of Cam Newton in 2018. That was DJ Moore's rookie season. But the fact is that in that span, in 2021, DJ Moore was the lowest wide receiver among the top 20 that had the fewest production come from touchdowns. And time and time again, he's showing you that he can be someone that you can count on, someone that can get you production in fantasy football without actually a solid quarterback and without touchdowns. And when you look at it even further, DJ Moore is going to now be having Baker Mayfield. And when you look at Baker Mayfield's production as far as touchdown rate, he's ranked 22nd, 13th, and 17th overall during that span, whereas in the quarterbacks that DJ Moore has had, ranked 29th, 30th, and 31st. So these were bad quarterbacks that DJ Moore was dealing with, yet DJ Moore was still putting up over 1,000 yards in those seasons. Currently, right now, DJ Moore is going as the wide receiver 18th. Overall, he's going 48th off the board, and is someone that must be on your roster if you're looking to be successful in 2022. The next wide receiver that you need to be focusing on in 2022 is going to be Gabriel Davis out of the Buffalo Bills. When you look at the target share that is now going to be open to Gabriel Davis, you have Emmanuel Sanders as well as Cole Beasley that are no longer there with Buffalo, which means that with the 112 targets from Beasley as well as the 72 from Emmanuel Sanders, you are seeing a total vacated target share of 184 targets in that Buffalo Bills offense. And on top of that, the Bills ranked top 10 in these passing categories. They were top 10 in yards, top 10 in touchdowns, and top 10 in attempts. So you have the fact that there's vacated targets, plus you have the fact that there are going to be so many opportunities within this offense for Gabriel Davis to shine. I believe that this is just a slam dunk selection. And when you look at it even further, towards the end of this season, the last 6 games of the season, Gabriel Davis saw his snap count go to 70%. During that span of those last 6 games, he was actually wide receiver 28. So not only is he able able to handle the snap count. Not only does he also have a good target share, but he also has Josh Allen as his quarterback. I mean, this is just a recipe for success in 2022. And on top of that too, right now his value is pretty amazing. Currently he's going as wide receiver 31. He's going 71st overall off the board, and I believe he's a must draft in 2022 if you're looking for success at the wide receiver position. Now, another wide receiver that I'm huge on in 2022, someone that didn't actually have a good 2021 season, is Allen Robinson from the Los Angeles Rams. And the reason why I'm big on Allen Robinson, and I think he needs to be on your rosters in 2022, is because of the fact that, look, he's still very talented. And I know it's easy to look, okay, he was on the Chicago Bears. They were a bottom 10 passing offense. He's now going to a top 10 passing offense. But you know what? It's not just the offenses. Even though he was in a bad offense, he still showed some great stats. And these are the ones I'm talking about. His success rate versus particular coverages was actually elite. According to Matt Harmon's reception perception, you're able to see here that Allen Robinson, he was in the 81st percentile when it came to man coverage, and he also was the 96th percentile when it came to press coverage. With these advanced statistics that we're seeing, where he's able to get separation from defenders, he's now in a better situation where he's going to be the number 2 wide receiver in Los Angeles. I think this is going to showcase a lot of great things for the Allen Robinson bounce back season in 2022. And currently right now at the ADP that Allen Robinson is going as is currently as wide receiver 32. Overall he's going 71st. I believe that this is a slam dunk pick and a value pick at that, where you need to maximize and get on your rosters, because Allen Robinson is going to be a huge success in 2022. The wide receiver that you need to own in 2022 is going to be Russell Gage from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the reason why I'm big on Russell Gage is because of this. Look, he is going to go as now he's going to slide into that second wide receiver role with the Chris Godwin injury kind of having things up in the air. I posted a video a few days ago about how reports are still saying as of July 10th that there's optimism that he could be ready for week 1, but it's also likely that he's going to end up on the PUP list, which means he's going to be out at least 4 to 5 games to kick off the season. And during that time, you're going to see a lot of talk about Mike Evans, whereas I'm focusing on Russell Gage because of the value that you can get him at in your current drafts. So when you look at it right now, Russell Gage, who had a pretty good season in Atlanta, is just got overshadowed with the fact that Atlanta was a bad team. But look at this. On top of that, Antonio Brown is gone, and he had 62 targets last year. Gronkowski has retired, and that was a total of 89 targets that Gronk caught, which leaves 151 vacated targets for Russell Gage. And I believe that he's going to capitalize on that, because even last season when he was there with Atlanta, he was 11th in yards per run versus man coverage. He was 17th in yards per routes run, and you can also add the fact that with Chris Godwin being out, he's not only going to be used in the slot, but he's also going to be used outside. Because look at this. Last season in 2021, Russell Gage was able to showcase his ability to play outside by having 53% of his snaps come from the outside from week 11 to the end of the season. And guess what? During that time, he was wide receiver 11, showing you that he's able to handle outside work as opposed to just being known as a slot wide receiver. He was 1 out of 9 wide receivers that had over 600 receiving yards, that also had a catch percentage of over 70%. So this is somebody that not only is able to feast off of the fact that he had was in a very involved offense towards the end of the season because of how many deficits they were in, but he's someone that's just efficient as well as a pass catcher, and someone that you need to own on your rosters. And the reason why I'm also big on him is because of the value that he's currently going at. Currently right now, Russell Gage is going as wide receiver 43, which means overall he's going 106 off the board, and this is a value pick that's going to maximize in a huge way in 2022. Now, my final wide receiver that I'm going to be going over, Allen Lazard, wide receiver from the Green Bay Packers. Now, this is someone that I believe you need to have on your roster, is it because of the fact, well, they just lost Devontae Adams, which means 2 things. 169 overall targets are going to be now vacated, along with 41 red zone targets, and Allen Lazard is 6'5". Davante Adams is 6'1", so this is a big body that's going to be able to actually handle the workload that Davante Adams was used to getting in the red zone. And this is Davante Adams' stats. He had 169 overall targets, making him the #2 most targeted wide receiver in the NFL, and his target share was 31.6%, which ranked #2, and the target rate was incredible at 35.3%. Allen Lazard is going to be the one that's going to be really benefiting the most off of this departure, and I believe because of the big frame, because of his ability to be able to catch, he's going to be really successful. Now check this out too. From week 14 to the end of the season, he was wide receiver 8 by averaging 16.6 points per game. He had 21 receptions during that span, 209 overall receiving yards, as well as 5 touchdowns. And currently right now his ADP has him at wide receiver 47. Overall he's going 114th off the board, and this is a great value pick for you and your roster. And you know, once again, I just want to thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you found value in it, hit that like button, be sure to subscribe, hit that push notification bell, and check out this video where I go over the 6 wide receivers that you need to avoid in 2022. And guys, thank you for making it to the very end. As always, keep it 100.